All right, so this one is from Phase 1 Gaming Redefined. That's the channel name, and it's titled, Is CIG planning something big to drop with Pyro? Yeah, it's a... I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see what they have to say here. I don't know. I think Pyro is just going to be another system, but let's see what he has to say.
Yeah, I didn't know they Star Citizen had a live stream today, right?
Yeah, they did a Inside Star Citizen. It's looking good, man. Like honestly, guys, they're talking more and more about Pyro, man. That means they're confident that they could pull this thing off this
Oh,
year.
no.
Oh yeah, no doubt. No
Nice.
doubt.
You know?
No doubt.
So I'm gonna be honest with you, all right? So I've been watching this game now 3 years, 4 years, and everybody's in awe.
Whose microphone is in the hurricane?
Like, oh, they're not telling us what they're doing, or oh, I'm so upset, and all these big streamers is going all crazy. Think about
Yeah.
two things. Everything leading up to now, we've been getting more recent updates. They finally got our server stable where we're not 30K in every few seconds.
True.
It's
Right.
never been this
Right.
playable. We're not
True.
stuttering when we're walking around.
Right.
Let's be honest about this.
Right.
They said that, hey, we don't want to upset you guys. That's what that's about. In my opinion, I think they're a lot more farther advanced than what we think they are. They're just, when they add something in, it breaks the game. I think that's what's going on.
Right.
You know,
I think all that's a fair assessment, except for the fact that they're a lot further along than we think they are. I think that they're pretty dry on when it comes to like content to show for the game and stuff, like on ISC. And so when they have something, guys, they show it. So I think that's the only part of what that dude said that I don't agree with. But like, yeah, I think they care more about keeping the server stable. I think they care more about the player experience than they ever have before. That doesn't mean that it's perfect. It doesn't mean that it's good to go or anything. But yeah, I thought what that guy said was pretty true.
I would have to second that. You know, being from the experience of that, what I've witnessed over the years with CIG and with this game, despite all of the things, the dynamic relationship between CIG and the community, and all of the things that has transpired all the way up until this point with this love-hate relationship that we have, well, that's only due to the business model and the way the game is being developed. But over the years, from my experience, CIG has always been able to pull the rabbit out of the hat. You know,
Right.
they've been
Right.
really good,
Right.
you know, throughout.
But the rabbit has rabies and no hair and is missing an eye. Like, what rabbit? By the way, I love this guy's background. It's awesome.
Years, every time when it was always that sense of dread that is like, oh man, there's these people again. CIG always surprised the community.
What if they really
That
surprised
is
us with
true.
lately?
That is
though?
facts, man. That is facts.
Now, another thing to piggyback off of that, if you really think about what's actually occurred before they made that big announcement, they just dropped 2 videos before that big announcement saying that they weren't going to tell us what they're doing. Those 2 videos, one was on Pyro and engineering, them focusing on engineering and graphic detail, and the other video was what focused on the fuel that's supposed to be in 3.17 update.
Right.
That's prepping
So
for
the
Pyro.
fuel is supposed to be geared up for Pyro, because when you go to Pyro, you can't. There's no home bases. So if you add 2 and 2 together, it seems like they're trying to be secretive before they drop a big bombshell on us.
Right.
Right. And CIG has a
Oh, can I get some Pepe laughs in chat, guys? Because that is exactly the opposite of what's happening. Like, one of these guys sounds like he's been around for a long time, but they do this all the time, dude. It's the carrot on the stick thing is what's happening. It's not the we're about to drop something big. It's we're keeping the carrot in front of your face and stringing you along until they get server meshing done. Like, I don't think I never, ever thought that it was, we're stringing you along to make the most amount of money for Chris Roberts possible so he could buy a yacht or something like that. I've always thought is like, yo, we can't get this server meshing thing right. We can't get it done. It's not working. If we don't do it, we don't have the game that we actually promised. There are very few promises that I think they made, but I would say that's one of them for absolute sure. And they're just stringing us along and keeping them open so they can get that stuff done. And there's nothing wrong with them not getting it done, like them screwing it up, or them not screwing it up, but them having issues with getting it done. And now hopefully this will be the one that it starts working, at least in its infancy. Right, but I don't think that they're holding anything back in terms of like a big, like what possibly could be the big thing. I mean, we're only 3 minutes into a 10-minute video. Maybe they have some ideas on that. But I'm struggling to think of it.
Some history here. You know, a lot of the little things that they keep on hush hush is nothing compared to that 2015 to 2016 dead silence. For a year and a half, there was not a single update from CIG. Nothing.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Silence for a whole year and 6 months. Nothing. So if you look at the comparison to that, to what we're getting now, this little silent treatment is nothing compared to
right.
But that doesn't make it good.
You know, it just shows that they getting ready to do something big. They got something. They got something lined up.
But like, think here, what could that even
when
be?
They came out of their silence and came out of their hiatus. The PU was like,
maybe he's thinking meshing.
Right.
You know. Yeah, they're doing something.
He thinks the floodgates will open.
Doing something, because you know they're revitalizing the whole studio. They got a brand new building coming online, hiring new people, new personnel and things like that. So, and it seems as if they got some smarter people on board that kind of knows what they're doing, you know.
Right.
And they starting to get things organized and stuff like that, despite of all what we go through and what we hear and what we say and call out things and stuff like that. Star Citizen never cease to amaze when it's time for them to shine.
That's true.
When it's go time, it's go time.
That's true.
When it's sale time, it's
facts,
go
man.
time.
Facts.
When
Like,
it's sale time, they got the biggest celebrations.
They go way beyond my expectation. You know.
What are your
I remember
expectations?
A few Citizen Cons ago, when they first showcased 3.0, when they showcase a whole bunch of other things, like they just always go beyond my expectations. So I think with this Pyro thing coming, they have something bigger, because everybody's expecting Pyro, but they have something else that is on hush hush coming along.
You know
with
what?
Pyro, I
Check
think.
this out. Check
Oh,
this
I
out.
got an
They
assumption.
got the Planet Tech. They have the Planet Tech
Mhm.
done and completed
What's up?
already.
Right.
Listen to me, gentlemen.
I'm listening.
If you think, listen. Once
I'm listening.
If they have this server meshing on point, like they think they got it, where they can implement a whole nother star system that we can travel through a wormhole and actually go there, and it works and it's stable, brother, rest assured that every other patch is gonna be a new star system. All they have to do is click a button with the mouse, and it will populate a whole entire star system from the click of a mouse.
Oh, he has
Did
no
this-
understanding of
they
the
had
development of this
already
game
set-
whatsoever. That's not how that will ever work, dude. Okay, yes, they click a mouse and it will make a round ball, right? That has nothing on it. But they still do currently place everything manually. They draw everything to make it look good. That is like one of the pillars of Star Citizen's development, I guess. I would say is that's just not true what he's saying. So part of what's special about Star Citizen over an Elite Dangerous, let's say, or a No Man's Sky, right? Two games that are definitely held higher by space fans, right? Because they're more complete games. Are what those games do is completely procedural generated stuff, right? So they do click the button and it just populates something, and it populates it in a very similar, very boring, very repetitive way. CIG has very similar tech for when they just click the button. But then after they click the button, they go in and they massage it and they paint it and they make it more interesting. And, you know, the microtech that they were just on and hanging out, that was completely drawn in by an artist. So, like, what he's saying is just never going to be true. So it is just, like, not facts at all. It's just not true. But I also do agree with what he's saying, is that there is going to be a point where maybe not every other patch, but really often you're going to start seeing new star systems as part of just like the patch notes, right? Like, hey guys, we balanced these weapons, and you know, this is the update that we did. I don't know, we delivered something, but by the way, we also dropped like these two systems, you know? And I think if you don't believe that, I don't know what you're doing here and why you're still following the project. If you really don't believe that that's something that will happen in the very, like, I'm not talking about distant, like near future. I'm talking in the distant future. I don't know what you're doing here, right? Like, I think we all, hey, what are you scratching my chair for? I think we all think that it has to get to that point. Otherwise, we'll never see 25 systems, let alone the 100 that they plan on doing, right? So that's I don't entirely disagree with what he's saying, but I think he's also just yeah, it like somebody mentioned Stockholm syndrome before. Like, it just feels that way a little bit with this, but also who knows how long these people like, I think the one guy said he's been backing for a while, and you know, they talked about CitizenCon 3.0, but who knows how long these guys have been following it, or how much they follow it, and if they're just enjoying it and want to, you know, imagine that it's going to be really good. I guess good for them, but it just, I also kind of feel bad for them too, because I don't see, like, if you really just think about it, what huge thing could they possibly be hiding? Like, I can't even think of what it could be. They've spoken so much about what Star Citizen needs and what it is and like what it could be, and I have just no idea. So it's hard for me to sit there, and I don't think they do either. They're talking about how they think it may be something, but they don't say what that thing could possibly even be, because they don't know, you know?
This tech up back in 2014, where I remember watching Around the Verse video. Y'all remember Around the Verse?
Yeah, I remember that.
See, so
There
they've been
was
around a long
showcase
time.
where the guy was talking about how easy it is for him to just set up a star system, put a sun there, put the planets in there, and all he was doing is just clicking the mouse.
Yeah, it's easy to set it up, but it's not easy to make it Star Citizen.
Star systems.
Is basically
And
what
then
I'm saying.
The art team, all they have to do is click the mouse to put the trees on it, click a mouse to put the water on it, the snow, the clouds. It's
Just click
all
the mouse,
done
forehead.
with a click
Just
of
click the mouse.
Right.
This problem is the server meshing. One example.
Oh,
of
these
that
guys are on the
is with-
server meshing. They're huffing on the server meshing. They're going to be really disappointed, because we're not getting server meshing even when we get server meshing. But yeah.
in the 2017 CitizenCon, where the guy was showcasing how they can make the star bases. So the
Right.
guy he showed how he could pull up a program and he clicked these little boxes on the program, and
Mhm.
then he saves it, and then he loads it up into the game engine, and once the game engine gets the code, it populates a whole entire star base right in front of your face.
Bruh, if it was this easy, why don't they fucking click the mouse then? Right? Like, I get it, server meshing, but the whole thing is this is what Star Citizen does, and this is how they insert this fucking brainworm in our heads. Is they always tell you what they could do, but they never click the fucking mouse, dude. They never click the mouse. They never click it. They say they can, but they just don't do it.
He ain't do nothing but click the mouse, and he got
Right.
a whole entire, you know,
All
and all they
right.
have
Right.
to do is just plug in the art, the NPCs, and that's it.
All right, I'm
Right,
about to say
right,
something that's gonna blow you away.
Oof,
I have
blow
some
me away.
crazy assumption. What if, like, let's rewind this back over 5 videos ago. Let's rewind this back to last year. What they said they were working on. Remember, they were supposed to be working on where we can have our own home bases
Right.
Okay.
on
Right.
planets.
Okay.
People
Right.
forgot.
If that's what they think is the thing, maybe. That was the 2021 carrot. It was, and their nose is on that carrot. Maybe, I don't know. I think if there's one logical thing that could be like the thing that they're hiding or the thing that they could be hiding in Pyro or whatever, I can see how they could think it would be this thing.
About that.
I could see that.
And then all of a
Right.
sudden it was quiet.
Instead,
I can't see it happening, but I could see these guys thinking that that would be the thing. When I was trying to say, like, I can't logically think what they could think is that really exciting thing. Yeah, owning land and stuff like that, placing your own little buildings, and how much they're showing of placing buildings. I could see how somebody could try, like, put those puzzle pieces together and be like, yeah, that's going to be the next big thing.
the
The
homestead.
homesteads.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I got a feeling we got a lot of stuff coming our way shortly.
Nobody forget about that. People
Right.
pay for that.
Right. Right.
I got a feeling.
I'll tell you
I got a
something.
feeling.
There was the latest video where they show planets with biometric system and stuff like that. They already
Mhm.
have that in the works. You know what I'm saying? They
Right.
already
Planets with biometric systems? What does he mean by that?
have planets with trees and stuff and things. Like
Yeah.
they have planets with
You know how ArcCorp is
Amazon,
a
like an Amazon system.
Oh,
and
different
stuff like
biomes.
yeah,
Okay.
it's a whole
Yeah.
entire
that.
game
That's the
reserve.
server meshing.
They got a planet that's his entire game reserve.
Yep.
The whole
That
planet is
yeah.
giant
The whole
forest.
planet is a game reserve.
They even
Mhm.
have a planet called a water planet, right? Just
Mhm.
like what's that Avatar where the floating mountains and stuff like that?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, they got.
They
Yeah,
do
they
have.
got
Yep.
a planet like
Oh.
that. Yeah,
They,
man.
they show it to you.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
They have,
Man, if you have Lex, if you have that video, post it in screenshots or one of the videos.
See, like this, these are the type of guys, and I could see why you would do this, right? Is none of us are game developers, so you believe what CIG says, but like they haven't always done what they said, right? Why will get Pyro this year? CIG is confident on Pyro 2022, right? Yeah, CIG is talking about it. They must be confident. And this is what leads to that disappointment. This is the problem with the roadmaps, right? Like the second you say something, people take your word because you're the professional, right? CIG is the professional. And there's nothing wrong with these guys who are gamers. It doesn't sound like any of them are like in game development, right? They're just excited about Star Citizen gamers. Like when you hear what CIG says, you're supposed to take their word for it because they're the pros. We're just the gamers. You know what I mean? So this dude is making videos saying, I think we'll get Pyro this year because CIG is confident. And, like, that's the problem with CIG. There's nothing... This guy's got no problems. There's nothing wrong with this guy having that opinion, right? But the opinion is created by CIG's expectations that he's setting for, like, that they're creating, that he's setting in his head, right? by Jared saying the road to Pyro, this dude thinks we're going to get it. And the whole thing is Pyro could be done. But if we learned one thing about game development from CIG is that just because Pyro's done from an art standpoint and they put all the gameplay in it that they want to, let's say, and they put all the star system or the stations in them, it doesn't mean that we're going to get it. It might mean that they just show it off at CitizenCon on their own little server, right? Where there's not us playing on it, making it not work. So it's one of those things where, like, if you guys have been around long enough, you should know this. But at the same time, I understand if you don't, because I totally understand listening to the talking heads at CIG and taking their opinion as fact, or not their opinion as fact, the words that they say as 100% facts, because that's how it should be, right? But unfortunately, it just hasn't over the years, and that's why I became as skeptical as I am and feel the way that I do, is because I've just been burned too many times with CIG being confident, right? But hey, I hope these guys are right, and it's nice. Again, we've watched a couple like of the more people that are excited about Star Citizen videos today, and I think it's nice to see that stuff. I think it's nice to see people excited about the game and looking forward to something. And as long as they don't get too upset when it doesn't happen, like, good on them, man. But I'm long gone. I'm long gone from these guys. But yeah, good for them.